The number
No,
one
like
show.
the number one show and like the baddest bitches that the internet has ever seen.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. Okay, welcome to Blonde Highlight. I'm your host, Kyle Hennessy.
And I'm Kris Yo.
Kris, what is going on today? What's happening with you?
Okay, so I am hanging out with you, duh. But okay, I've been really excited to tell you because I know last week, I think it was one of your lowlights, you mentioned that there are all of those cyber trucks that are driving around. Don't get too excited. I haven't seen one. But yesterday I was in the car and I'm going for a car ride and I look to my left and I see a one-wheeled electric motorcycle. Have you ever seen one of those? Like, do you know what that is? Because I was completely blown away.
Wait, it has one wheel?
It is like a unicycle, but with a motor. A motorized unicycle is what I would call it.
That sounds so dangerous.
When I tell you the amount of ick that it gave me when I was sitting there, like, this guy thought it was like cool as shit. But I was sitting at a stoplight and I looked to the left and I saw this thing take a turn in front of me. And all I'm thinking is, this guy thinks he's so cool. He thinks he's the coolest guy. And let me tell you, it was the biggest ick I have seen in a long, long time.
No. Oh my God. You know what's crazy? I've seen like the one-wheeled like segways for the sidewalk,
Mm-hmm.
where people get on the one wheel and they're like scooting around on that. And even then, I'm like, how are they standing up? I'm scared for them. Don't fall on me.
You know what? Even those are cooler. Even those are cooler than what I saw. Because like those people are just kind of like casual, like, yeah, okay, again, I'm on a Segway, but whatever, I'm having a good time. This guy was like, he's ripping around on his one-wheeled motorcycle. It was so gross.
Oh my God, that is literally.
Could you imagine getting together with that guy and being like, oh, like, what kind of car do you drive? And he's just like,
One-wheeled motorcycle?
like, I'm going home. I would rather walk than be anywhere near that thing.
Well, he's definitely got to the point where he knows there's no girl getting in the back.
100%.
He's alone on that.
He's a Lone Ranger.
No. The Lone Ranger on a one-wheeled motorcycle. What's your highlights and lowlights of the week?
Okay, so my highlight of the week is last weekend I had a girls' weekend on both, or girls' night with two separate friend groups on both Friday and Saturday. So I had a kid-free weekend. And
Yeah.
Michael was, he had his events, whatever. And I had been invited to my one girlfriend's house. Her son was drafted to the OHL, so that was really cool. And
What's the OHL?
it's like the big Ontario Hockey League. So it's right underneath, for us, it's right underneath the NHL, I think. But it's like
Yeah, okay.
the first step, the big hockey team for his age.
Yeah.
So he got drafted there. And then the next night, well, wait, first, let me backtrack. I had a little bit of vodka soda. It's my favorite. And I don't drink. Like, I really, truly, I don't drink anymore. So that third drink, I had 3, hit me, but I was fine. The next morning, I woke up. I had 2 of my girlfriends from college coming over, some of my nearest and dearest. And I was like, I gotta hype up again. Like, I gotta be ready for round 2. And I did it. I did 2 nights in a row for the first time in fucking years. And yeah, I survived it. Sunday was really rough for me. I slept in our basement room. We have a guest room down there, but it's really dark. I slept down there just so I could get like a good night's sleep because I was overtired. I was so proud of myself. I had a full girls' weekend.
I love that. She had and then she finished it with a full basement sleep.
Right? Fan blowing on me, like just so dark. Michael woke up with the kids on Monday. It was beautiful.
I love that. What was your low light?
Okay, so my low light's really annoying. So I really had to like self-advocate for myself this week, which I don't mind. But I had to this week, and let me start with, the backstory. In 2019, I was still living in Australia and I was visiting home and I did a photo shoot for this massive corporation. And they took this photo of me and the usage was supposed to be done, used until July of 2020. Let me tell you, all through the pandemic and, up until like 2023, I was getting pictures sent of people seeing this image in stores being used. So I keep sending it to my agency and they were like, the client keeps coming back and saying that they can't prove that it's in the store. Because these people who are sending it to me were from like faraway towns or whatever. So finally, a couple of weeks ago, I got another one sent to me and this image was blown up to almost a mini billboard and put over their fitting room in their store. And I'm already so crushed and hurt because this massive corporation has been overusing this image for years, gaslighting me, saying that I can't prove to them that it is being used. And the most upsetting part is that they were using this during the pandemic when I had lost like everything. I lost so much money. I lost my place in Melbourne. I lost my place in LA. And this whole time, they're just using this photo of me, which apparently has like a massive chokehold on its buyers because it's just like a plain, cheap $7 pink t-shirt. Like, why they can't just like reshoot that, or I don't know, but it is what it is.
Hire you.
Or just,
annually.
Yes, or just like reuse the usage. So anyways, finally I told my agent and she's like, look, you got to go in and take like a newspaper or something with me and show a picture with the date, like today's date, up against the image or like in perspective so you can see both the image and the date. So anyways, I had to go yesterday, drive 40 minutes one way to the town to do that. So I'm happy I did it, but it's just frustrating because I feel like this is something that happens to models a lot. I feel like there's always this overusage where clients think that they can be really cheeky and, it's hard as a model to kind of do the work and to have even to have the conversation with your agent sometimes. And then if the client isn't doing anything, there's nothing you can really do, right? Unless you get a lawyer, whatever. But at this point, it's like, I can't get a lawyer, and what am I going to do? It's like a huge corporation. So
yeah,
it's just frustrating. I feel a little bit taken advantage of, especially because clearly they've been profiting off this t-shirt image of me for years now. And yeah, so that's my low light.
Yeah, that is really frustrating. And I think so many people can relate to being like used like that. You know what I mean? Like commodity, just because it's like these huge corporations can do whatever they want because they're so big, and you're just a little person. Like you can't go up against this giant, and it's like even though it's illegal against the contract, they still have the upper hand.
And it's the way that they just gaslighted me, like,
yeah,
no, it's not there. It's like, what are you talking about? What's being sent to me?
Yeah, and it's like that's what you do for a living, and they're making so much money. They need to share love, especially during the pandemic when everyone was losing all their money. That's when you needed to be hired the most. So that is that, and they're in your own country, so like you could have worked there and shot more. Okay, so my highlight is so this is like a weird like highlight, but basically, I'm a big gardener. I love gardening, and I have become obsessed with these garden YouTubers. Okay. So every single day, I'm like, I gotta get on their YouTube. Like, I'll finish myself in the morning, make myself some breakfast, and then I sit down. And I'm like, Monday through Friday, Janie's gonna be posting a video, and then I visit our garden. And then Robbie's gonna be posting a video from, or no, wait, he's visit our garden. She is dig, plant, water, repeat.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yes. Yes.
Dick? Hold on, wait. Dick plant.
No, not dig.
Oh,
Dig.
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 Oh, I was like, is this like her like daily schedule? Like dig, plant, drink some water, repeat.
Imagine like that. I watched this garden YouTuber where she talks about dick.
Hey man,
This is my routine.
I don't hate it.
Got to keep the man happy. No, but I just like I find so much joy in it, and I feel like because like I'm a housewives queen. Like I love some housewives. And I feel like nothing good is on nothing good. No, I'm not into like juicy reality shows right now, and I typically just but I'm supplementing with this my obsession with these YouTubers that I watch every single day, and it's weird because it's like I watch them at least 5-6 days a week, so like I feel like they're my friend.
Are they old?
They're like our age.
Like it's like super young. What's what was I?
Honestly, like they could be our best friend.
Really?
Like they're like, yeah, they're like around our age, and they're like cool. You know what I mean? Like she's probably like the same age, and she has the blonde hair. She has blonde highlights too.
She could be on the show then, is what you're saying.
Yeah, she could be on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gotta get her in here.
yeah. And every day I'm just like, what is this bitch gonna plant today? You know?
I love it. What's your low light?
Okay, so my low light is okay. Again, this is a weird spotlight, but do you ever like? Do you guys have the lottery in Canada?
The lottery?
Yeah.
Cow. I live in Canada. Of course I'm the lottery.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I didn't know.
Oh my god.
But okay, so like, because I don't know. Like sometimes like the U.S. does weird things. Like sometimes I'll talk to someone and they're like,
No, I know.
no, it's okay. So like, I will play the lottery, but I convince myself in my delusional brain that I've won. Like I'm manifesting it, but then I start to live in the reality that I have just won the lottery.
Wait, do you celebrate?
Yeah, I like kind of celebrate, and I'm just like, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna do this first, and I'm gonna have to find a lawyer. You know what I mean? Like I'm like planning for it. Like I'm like, it's happening today. This is the day that my life changes forever.
I love
Like it is. Like I am fully in that place. And then at like 8 o'clock at night, I check the app, and then it's just like devastation. It's like I guess I gotta go to work tomorrow.
Wait,
But like the level of letdown that I have from like delusionally thinking that I've won is
maybe it's just because you're doing it on the app. Can you really trust the app?
no, but I gotta go check online too. I gotta check everywhere just to make sure.
Hold on, wait. So when you win the lottery or like a ticket comes through, like any ticket, does it say it in two different languages? So if it says winner, does it announce it? So okay, in Canada, like if you go in to a gas station or any store where you buy your lottery tickets and they scan it and you're a winner, even if it's $3, because we're a bilingual country, so everything is English and French, it'll be like,
Yeah.
if it's a winning ticket, it'll be like, winner, gagnant, winner, gagnant.
Well, I feel like we do that with Spanish. We just don't do it with French.
Yeah, so does it say it in Spanish? How do you say winner in Spanish?
I don't even know. I'm so used to seeing everything in Spanish that I don't even process it. I don't even know if it's but I would assume that it's in English and
I
Spanish.
love that. It's so much fun. Winner, gagnant.
I know. No, that's something that's crazy because I pay attention to that. I'm like, because I find it cool because I grew up in Ohio, like, and then living here in LA, I'm like, I recognize things in Spanish, and I'm just like, oh, okay, whatever.
Like, I'm bilingual now.
I'm bilingual. ¿Cómo está? I'm like, está bien, bien.
Bien. I'm like, bonjour. The only thing that I really took from French class, it was ta mère, which is your mom.
Ta mère. To what?
Ta mère, which is your mom.
Your mom.
Your mom.
Ta mère.
Ta mère, your mom. Oh, man.
Oh, sometimes I'll be like, yo hablo poquito español, which means like I speak a little bit of Spanish.
Ooh.
Someone's gonna come for me and be like, that was terrible.
I think Spanish is just so sexy. I think, especially, I love when women speak Spanish. I think it is the hottest thing. I think it's so sexy.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh.
I want to be bilingual so bad. Like I want to like just bust out in Spanish. Like I have fantasies in my head of me just like busting out in Spanish and just being so cool.
You need to get the Duolingo app. You
I
can
do,
learn
and I
it. Do
do.
you? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, I do it because I took Spanish and well, just like you guys, I'm sure you take French in school. Like, well, my school offered French and Spanish, and everyone took French, but I was like, I'm gonna take Spanish.
Yeah.
Um, and because I think a lot of people took French because we were so close to Canada
Mhm.
that it was like, oh, this is the closest foreign language you're going to use.
Yeah.
But I was just like, I'm going to be different and go for Spanish. But then I took Spanish in high school, and then I took Spanish in college, and then just living in LA for the time I picked up a lot. But I just like I've studied the Duolingo and it's been helping me with my grammar, like constructing sentences and things like that. But then I start doing it and then I forget and then I get off track with it. And do you ever notice on the Duolingo app, the little image on the icon, like if you don't use it, it starts to look like it's dying.
What? No, I've never used.
The birds all like,
Oh my.
it's all like haggard and beat up
Oh no.
on my app.
I've never used it. Michael, she used to use it. He was learning French, but I've never. I barely remember the proper grammar and punctuation, and like my vocabulary is so small now in the English language. So I'm like, I just need to stay in my lane. I can't go into another language now.
Same. Oh my God, the first time I went to Montreal, I was like, oh, you guys are really serious about this French thing.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are really on it.
Mhm. I
Like,
I understand a little bit of it when I'm in Montreal, but I don't understand a damn thing when I'm in Montreal. Like a little bit,
Yeah.
but it's hard. I struggle sometimes.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into some juice.
Yes, let's get in it to the juice.
Okay, so have you heard anything about the Sydney Sweeney drama?
Yeah.
Not her. She's not the dramatic one, but the
No, no.
producer.
But I've been hearing about this.
Yes, producer Carol Baum.
Carol Baum.
Carol Baum. I think that's how you say her last name.
Oh.
But just for our listeners, in case you didn't know, while speaking to the New York Times, she said that she told her class about Sydney Sweeney, explain this girl to me. She's not pretty. She can't act. Why is she so hot?
Ugh.
Honestly, I just find that so fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
and this woman, she's a credible producer. She's done big names. I think, I don't know. I was reading about her. I don't know if it was Buffy the Vampire Slayer or like another vampire show she did. But she's been in the industry for years. And Sydney Sweeney's team was basically like, how sad as a woman in her position and to have her expertise and experience to just put down another woman like that. And then they said something along the lines of like, if that's what she learned in her decades in the industry, I thought that was the best kind of slap back, just if that's what she learned in her decades, like, you old bitch.
I love that. I feel like it's definitely a case of some internalized misogyny.
Mm-hmm.
And something happened with Sydney Sweeney like a month and a half ago. Like, what happened is she appeared on SNL and she wore that top.
What top?
And it was a really low cut and she had a lot of cleavage.
Okay.
And it was like her celebrity, I feel like, grew overnight from the SNL performance. And every straight guy in my life, like, worked with, or even like in all the comedy clubs, every straight guy that I came across brought up her cleavage from that SNL performance. Like, she became so sexualized overnight and became like, I feel like, of course she was in Euphoria and there was a lot of like risky stuff and that, whatever. But it was just like, everyone was all of a sudden like, she's hot. Like, all these guys, she became so sexualized overnight from that. And of course, you're going to have sometimes like people that with the internalized misogyny are going to be like, F her. You know what I mean? Because now they're not taking her serious because they're like, now she's like the hot actress girl. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it's fair. If you don't think somebody's talented, I think it's fair to say no, I don't understand what the hype is about her. She's not that talented. And I like to me, it's like whether I agree with it or not, I could see that as being a respectable answer. But if you're now going to just bring her looks into it and be like, she's not pretty, why is she so hot? It's kind of like, why does it bother you? Why does it bother you that people think she's hot? Like, leave her alone. And I just think it's discrediting her as an actress. And I just think that it's just so disrespectful just to like bring her looks into it. It had nothing to do with the statement of her not being able to act, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, you can leave constructive criticism, even if you want to be that person, leave some criticism, whatever. But when you start going into someone's looks, now it's not about her talent at all. It's about the public persona and it's about her looks.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That's you're telling on yourself by adding that part to it.
I think Carol's jealous. I do. I think that there's
Carol is jealous.
I think that there's
Because Carol probably wanted to be her when she was that age, and she didn't get to be. You know, just like we probably wanted to be something at 25 too that may or may not have worked, you know?
Well,
and now we're in our 30s, and it's like, well, that time's passed, and we move on.
well, and also too, Sydney Sweeney is entering the producing world. So it's kind of like, here comes the young and upcoming gorgeous producer, it's a threat to her. But I just feel so sad that we need to be threatened by other women like that. I think what a lot of the older generation needs to start learning is that it's not about competition anymore. It's about being collaborative. Like if she was smart, she would have worked on a project with her, maybe in the terms of producing, or maybe did something where she could kind of, collaborate with her and kind of, test the waters with her. But understandable, she thinks she's a bad actress, but I just don't think it's necessary to bring her looks into it.
Yeah, and I will say this, just from being around the entertainment industry so much, I do feel like us millennials, and especially the Gen Z, the women are very supportive of each other. You know, there's not as much of that competitiveness, where before there was only so many select spots for women in entertainment, so it was so cutthroat and so just like you had to like be one of the boys to get past the old boys club to get access.
Well, I think everyone is honest and genuinely just tired of the mean girl syndrome. I think that it's been around for too long. I think that this generation's like had enough, has probably been bullied at some point in their life. And I think it's just switching that mentality. I think one point that I wanted to bring up was I was really excited when Pink recently in an interview, she was asked what she thought of Madonna's face. And right away, Pink just clapped back. And she's like, I've just released, and she was highlighting all of her talent and all of the incredible things that she's just done. She's like, I just released a record. I wrote it right after losing my dad. Whatever it was, I might be like misaligning the information there. But she's like, and you want to ask me what I think of Madonna's face? She's like, that is so backwards. She's like, that is not progress. And I think it's great that women, like a woman like Pink, who's in the spotlight and who's being put in this situation, is highlighting that is so fucking backwards. Don't.
Okay, but yeah, my thing with Pink though is, didn't she have a song called Stupid Girls where she is making fun of all the like blonde girls in Hollywood? You know, so at least she's turned around. So
well, and that's it, because we're all sick of Mean Girls. I don't know. I just thought that I see. Yeah, okay, whatever. Pink, shame on you.
Do you know who gets it right?
Who?
Do you know who gets it right?
Who?
Every time is Megan Fox.
Yes. Yes.
She gets it right.
Yes.
And
did you see the interview at Coachella?
Yes, I saw that interview where she was like, because there were like some girl, and what show was it?
It was, her name's Chelsea from Love is Blind.
Oh yeah. She was saying that she looks like Megan Fox.
So,
and then everyone came for her, right?
Well, she was asked if she's been told she looked like a celebrity, and apparently she listed 2 other celebrities, and then said, "Well, some people say that I look like Megan Fox. I don't see it, but people say it because I have light eyes and dark hair. And
Yeah.
the whole world went for her. And I think it's really cool that Megan Fox stood up for her and said 100,000% she's been told at some point that she looks like Megan Fox.
Megan Fox is that girl. You know what I mean? She's like the astrology girl. She's our favorite witch. You know what I mean? She is love, peace, hug a tree. Love her so much.
I'm loving
And
hair right.
yes, with the pink.
No, it's blue right now. It's blue. Her hair is blue.
Oh, it's blue. It's blue.
Yes.
Yes. So anyway, so then Megan Fox was interviewed about it, and they said about this girl, you think she looks like you, or whatever. And Megan Fox was so sweet because a lot of people would be like, no, don't compare me to that person,
Yeah.
or whatever. But she was like, you know what? No, she's like, I can see where maybe she can say that, and she's beautiful, and you know, I see that, and I love that. Like Megan Fox was like, I'm not going to tear this girl down. I'm going to support her and stand up for her when everyone's coming for her right now.
And she even said, I hope that she's like, I think the whole world went too hard on her, and I hope that basically she doesn't have a broken soul, and said that happened to her, and she hopes that she's not going through it, and to like keep shining her bright light or something. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. And we need more people like her in the entertainment industry and in all industries.
But it's like, once again, it's like looks are the focal point, because everything, you didn't watch the season of Love is Blind, but everything that happened in that season, there was so much other drama that actually pertained to the show. But everybody just took that whole comment about her looks and ran with that. And that was the most juiciest highlight. Such a small comment that she said turned into the biggest, juiciest highlight of the season. And again, it was just tearing down another woman for her looks, and it pisses me off, but we'll move on.
Best producing.
Yes.
To do that.
So you want to go into questions?
Yeah, let's go into some questions.
Okay, this was really fun. This question is just for Kyle. And this is from, I know, this is from Melanie in Orange County. Kyle, what made you want to get into stand-up?
Oh, well, okay, so when I moved to LA 14 years ago, I had watched a lot of, like, I was obsessed with Kathy Griffin, My Life in the D-List, and she was a comedian. She was running around Hollywood, just being crazy, and I was obsessed. And I was obsessed with Chelsea Handler and like all the female comedians. And I was like, this is what I'm going to do, because I had been a theater kid. I always wanted to be on stage. It's weird because I'm so shy and so like socially awkward, but I love putting on a performance. Love it. You know what I mean? Whether it was like twirling the baton in my like school talent show. I had a little purple jumpsuit. Yeah, and I was like twirling the baton and whatnot. Love to perform. She tried to tap dance, that didn't work. And then I was in a lot of theater growing up. The thing is that I was so like kind of shy and awkward and whatever, that I wouldn't get the parts that I wanted. And then I joined a Christian puppet team. Yes. So she was a puppet. I was a puppeteer. I had to like, I could still do it. I could still do it. Everyone else, this is how you move the puppet. You only move your thumb. Like people go like this, but it's like you gotta talk like this in the mouth, the syllables.
I didn't know that. That makes sense.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, so I was this like puppeteer, and I did that all the way through school. Like we competed in like nationals. Like we like won. What do you mean
competed? Like, hold on. I know that you dabbled into the whole puppeteer thing. So
it was more than a dabble.
Oh, I know, but I didn't know you competed. Did you travel and compete?
We traveled and competed, yes. Against other Christian puppet teams at this like mega church outside of Chicago.
Oh my, did you win money?
I can't remember if we won money or not. Maybe like free products or something like that. Because the person who held the competitions were the main seller of like the equipment.
Yeah.
And we went. I remember we did a song called "There Will Be Showers of Blessings," and like the puppets were inside these like shower curtains that would like spin open, and it was like a remake of some other song. But it was like "There Will Be Showers of Blessings," something, I don't know, but. It was we were those girls, but it was good because I was so shy that I was able to perform behind a curtain,
Oh, yeah.
you know. And then I moved to LA. So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna come to LA, and she's gonna be involved. I was gonna do the groundlings, just like Kathy Griffin, and like these other people. But then things happened, and then my career took off, and I got so invested in that. And then, I think in my late 20s, I was like going through some stuff, and I was like, I need like a hobby. I need my thing, I need this thing outside of work. And so I took classes. I was on vacation and I'm like, what am I doing? And so I signed up for classes while I was on vacation for the next week. And I came back to LA and I went right into taking classes in the Second City in comedy. And then I just took off, but then the pandemic happened and then it was like hard. So then now I'm like finally like back into going to the open mics, getting out there, meeting new people and things like that. So I don't know, it was a long journey into finally getting here, but it took me a while to like get the courage and the strength and to like break through that last fuck to give.
Aw.
And now it's such a powerful exercise because it's like, say whatever you want about me. I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm so crazy that I get on stage in front of a microphone and try to make people laugh. Like,
I honestly, like, my hat goes off to you because I could never do that. Like, I can get on in front of a camera, and if there's a script and if there's a photo that needs to be taken, I can do whatever. I can do it all in front of the camera if it's like a little mini performance. But if I have to improv and come up with the stuff myself, that is terrifying. So,
I know.
have you ever blacked out on stage?
Oh, like every time I black out, I have to record myself and listen back to the audio because a lot of times I don't remember.
Oh my.
But I'm getting better about being more in control of my cell phone stage.
Yeah.
Not like I'm out of control, but I'm just saying like more like in the moment.
Yeah.
Because like a couple weeks ago, there were all these guys that were like not paying attention to me. And I was like, I stopped and I was like, so I was like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Like what's going on over here? And I was like, just so you know, like this other comedian in the audience that were like not paying attention to me and reading their notes. I was like, just so you know, when you're on stage, I'm gonna be staring down at my notes too.
Well, because it's rude. Good for you. Clap back at those assholes. That's so mean. Like, if you're gonna go,
Yeah.
even if, okay, say they didn't like your performance or they weren't really interested, in a space like that where there's so much pressure on the comedian and it's like everyone is just putting themselves out there and giving it a go and trying, just be supportive. Just watch at least. You don't need to laugh, but just watch because that's brutal. I see if I was on stage and that happened to me, I would just I probably wouldn't say anything. I'd probably just like go home and cry. It would haunt me.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to like let go of that last fuck to give. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you cannot care what people think at all because it's the spotlight's right on you, and you're like, so this is funny. Like it's a thing, but it's like you have to be a little crazy. You know what I mean? Like, you have to like
Yeah.
really not care. It's hard. That's the hard part. And I've kind of just like I don't care anymore. I'm like whatever.
I love
I literally have like no shame about no anything.
I love it. I want that confidence. There's times where we've done our podcast and I go back and listen and I'm messaging Kyle being like, why did I say this? And I'm like it's almost after actually like every episode I have a complete meltdown because I'm like, I can't believe I said this. What if people, and it's just I'm so in my head about it, but I think that's a good balance between us because you're just like used to doing it on stage in front of people doing comedy. You're just like, fuck girl, just let it go.
Just let it go, And I saw something from Whitney Cummings, and when on her podcast she was talking about it, and she was like, any sort of artistic person, anyone who is creating some sort of content, some sort of performance or whatever, if you don't go afterwards, hate yourself and hate it and hate everything about it and freak out, you're not doing it right. You know what I mean? It is so natural and that's what holds people back, but it is so natural to see yourself on camera or hear your voice or whatever and cringe.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, if you don't dislike it, you're not doing it right,
Well, I remember I'll just add this last point and then we'll move on to the highlight. But I remember this commercial came out that I was in, and it was like a series of five different mini commercials for one brand. And they kept coming out, and it was all over Canada, and everyone would be messaging, and I wouldn't watch the commercials. I wouldn't watch them. I didn't watch them until years later because I was like, I don't want to see myself like that because I can't face myself because I don't want to get in my head about it the next time that I'm presented with this opportunity. So I'm like,
Yeah.
no, but okay.
I'm that way with hair sometimes too. Like when I see my hair like on like a billboard or like on a commercial or something, I pick it apart. You know what I mean? So like when I'm doing the hair, I'm trying to think of like all the angles they're filming from because it's like film is a whole other monster than like commercial, like than just photos.
Yes.
Because photos, I can sit there between every little shot and be like, fix this, fix this.
Yes.
So with a video, when you got extensions, whatever, no one is noticing the things that I am noticing.
Mhm.
But I am my harshest critic, and I will go over any hair stuff I do and pick it apart. Like I will be like, it was the worst thing ever, and everyone's like, it was amazing.
Yeah.
So it's just so natural to do that. But anyways, I'm gonna get to the highlight. Okay, so this is from Abby in Melbourne, Australia. Did I say that right?
Yes, Melbourne.
Okay.
Well, the Australians say it. The Australians, when I lived there, I noticed they said Melbourne. It's like Melbourne.
Melbourne. Okay.
We're Melbourne, but they're like Melbourne.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I know that's the thing because sometimes I try to say Melbourne because I want to be like cool, like I'm, like yeah, like I'm just like, oh, I'm more Australian.
I'm
not
Australian.
Melbourne.
Yeah.
But then like it's weird because then everyone's like, you mean Melbourne? Like what?
Like, what are you talking about?
Stop it, Okay, but anyways, okay, so Abby in Melbourne, she said, I said no to my friends for going out on Saturday night, and I decided to stay in and have a relaxing night in. Hell yeah.
Like I know that
Hell yeah.
I know that I just had this like big weekend with my girlfriends. That's like one in a million. Like I love having those nights inside alone.
Yeah.
Candle lit, house to myself, paint. I love watercolors or just watching TV. Like those are the best nights.
Yeah. I know that's like I work on Saturdays a lot of times doing hair. So I don't have the energy to go out on Saturday night.
Mm.
And it's like everyone has their birthday dinners on Saturday night, and I'm like always like, oh my God, I'm working late or something, like,
Yeah.
they're like, I'll meet you for drinks after. But it's just like getting out on Saturday night is hard. But I love a Sunday fun day. Get out there, like get up in the morning, do something productive Sunday morning, and then because I went to sleep early on Saturday night.
Yes.
Do something productive Sunday morning, and then meet up with some friends and do a little Sunday fun day action or whatever, and it's not even a pressure to like drink that much during the day, but you can if you want to or whatever. And then, you're in bed by a certain time, I like to be home at night.
I know, me too. And you know what? I think it's really powerful being alone, and I think that there's just such good value in being alone with yourself. And I know that there's some people that struggle with their alone time because sometimes, and I used to be like this, where it would make me more anxious. But I just feel that there's so much value in that and just spending the time with yourself. I find that the older that I'm getting, when I was in my 20s, I used to call them lunch friends. So these were like the friends that I didn't really connect with on a lot of levels, but I'd be like, yeah, okay, let's go get brunch, and you'd go have like an afternoon of like drinks and whatever, and they were like my fun friends. But the older that I'm getting, the more that I'm just like, I can just eliminate that, and like if we're actually not like true valuable connecting friends, like I have my nearest and dearest, and it's like if you're not a part of that, I don't need to be going out and having these fun lunches or these dinners with people that I don't genuinely really connect with because I just want to have fun, because I would rather be at home. I'd rather be with my dogs. I'd rather, it's Michael, so I'd rather be staying with my, like, obviously my family and my husband, but I'm good to just like to a dinner like that, a big socialization thing, and just stay in, order my Uber Eats. More than okay with that.
Totally, yeah. And what's crazy is that like when I went through all my health problems and like my life fell apart, Guess who was not there?
Mm-hmm.
Not a single one of my party friends.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my real friends were there, but like my party friends, nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
You know, and so that was definitely like just know their play. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that's you don't need to like waste your time. And I get like social exhaustion. You know.
Oh my God.
Like some people, I feel like, you know, I've told people this too. I'm like, some people need someone there all the time. Some people, you know, they're get their energy, their whatever from being around people. And for me, it's exhausting. You know, even people that I love the most, I can be exhausting, you know, and after a day of dealing with everything and constant text messages from clients and different things like this, like when it comes to night, I want to like I would sometimes on a Saturday night I like to have an edible, get a little snack.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
that's not for everybody, but that's for me.
That's for you.
Have a little snack. You know, maybe a caffeine-free Diet Coke,
Nice.
and watch some gardening show.
Yes.
Or you know, or when it's time, I'll watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills or New York or whatever.
Or you can watch crafting shows because Kyle loves Hallmark Channel crafting shows. And I have videos that I still have on my phone. I still have these videos of Kyle and I having a sleepover, and Kyle is sitting at the end of her bed eating something and just completely connected to her TV while someone's sitting there with a pair of scissors cutting construction paper. And the way that she didn't look away. She wouldn't look away. And there was like no hope for Kyle. So don't disregard those in this conversation because I know damn well you still watch craft shows.
I do occasionally, but that was a weird era. That was a weird era. Okay, so basically, there was a TV show that had a segment, like a crafting segment, and I was on set doing hair for someone that was visiting like this talk show, and then, I was like, "Oh, this crafting is kind of cool," and then I just got obsessed, and I had to watch like hundreds of videos of them making like all these little crafts, like they're making candles or they're making like little cutting felt and doing things. And I was like, Kris, you just gotta know that this is a phase that I'm in right now. So I made her watch them.
But it wasn't even like you watched them and then we were kind of interactive about it. It was like I was alone. I was alone because you were at the edge of your bed with like your face almost at the fucking TV, like just inside of it, watching. And I'm sitting back, like kind of up against, like, I hate crafts. I hate fucking gluing shit, cutting it. I hate crafts. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my God, this is my own personal hell. But you were having a good time. And so, you know what? At that
You could have told me.
no, I was just,
Well,
I felt like a parent, like I was watching you enjoy your time, and that was good enough
Yeah,
for me.
you could tell that I was thriving.
Yes.
You know, well, and it's crazy. So I've been saving these pickle jars, these glass pickle jars, because I want to make candles in them. And I was like, I'll save this. Maybe when Kris is in town, we can make candles together.
See, okay, I would make a candle. I will make a candle with you. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, so we have Katie.
Because.
Oh, what?
Oh, no, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so we have Katie from New York for her lowlight.
Yeah.
And her lowlight is really good. She goes, I hate the way my boyfriend eats.
Oh, no. Listen, no, that is a deal breaker for me. That is a deal breaker.
It's like, when I read this, I really reflected and really thought, like, there's so many different ways that people can eat that's really annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not just about it being gross and maybe, taking an overbite. It's like that slapping sound, you know what? I can't with that sound.
Oh my God, no,
It's off-putting.
I struggle being friends with people that are bad eaters.
Mm-hmm.
I remember there was this one person that I was close with for a long time, and they're like a really bad eater. Actually, no, I can think of two different people that were like, that I was close friends with for a while that were like horrible eaters. And it like bothered me. It really bothered me. And I was like, but I like them. So I would like sit on the same side of the table as them always.
So you didn't have to see them.
sit.
Oh, that's smart.
Yes. Yeah. So I would sit, but I would still
You
hear
can hear it though.
But Yeah, but I wouldn't be watching it.
Yeah, I mean that lowers the
And I was
bandwidth.
just thinking to myself, like, it was hard because I'm like, I just want to be like, listen, I don't want you to go on a date and do this.
Yeah, but
You know, like, I love you, but like, I don't want you to go on a date and do this.
how do
You
you
know, I
tell
was like,
someone?
well, because yeah, I know that's the thing. Like, and I just don't get it. Like, but that sound, sound, it like hits the spot in my brain that makes me shiver.
Yeah.
Like, it is like, oh, you know, like a twitch.
And it's not like
No.
it's like slapping. My thing is when okay. So when people take a bite of something and they make a facial expression with their eyes. And I know it's not necessarily like a gross way and like there's room for it to be acceptable, but it's like when you're taking a bite of something and your eyes go like really wide, like you're just like taking in the whole fucking thing in your mouth and deep throating, I can't. It's like it's too much. It's like relax. It's like cut it. You have the something.
Yeah. Maybe it stems from like struggling with like eating disorders or something like that. Like it's like a sore spot, you know? It's like a trigger of some sort.
For us and for them to make those faces.
For us, like
No.
that bothers us.
No way in hell.
It's just
It's
gross.
just gross, Kyle. I mean, like, I wish I could be like, my bulimia has caused me to be triggered by this. No. It's just, it's gross. It's almost inhumane sometimes. You know, even as a kid, my biggest pet peeve, and still to this day, is watching someone eat an apple. When I see someone eat an apple, and because it stems from people being gross when they eat. So, like,
Yeah.
when you really stop and think about the process of eating an apple, okay, is you have this apple, and people are normally like throwing it up and down. So it's like they're kind of just being annoying with it. I've seen people like blow on their apple and then like rub it on their shirt to like, I guess, clean it off with their freaking hot breath and dirty shirt. And then they like look at the apple and investigate where they're gonna bite into it. And then they don't just like take a small bite, but they take like a huge crunch. And then there's like foam at the side of their mouth from all like the fruit juices of the apple. It's so gross. It is so cut your apple. Just cut your apple. Even when Michael does it, I can't watch it. And he's my husband. Like it just grosses me out.
Well, I eat apples very dainty and cute.
No.
No,
Do you cut
there's a lot of foods that
Do you cut them?
I'll cut it up. Yeah.
Yes, okay, good.
No. Well, if I'm around people, if I'm gonna be eating this apple in front of someone, I'm gonna cut it.
Yes.
But it's just a hum. There's a lot of stuff that I like to just eat by myself. There's certain foods where it's like, well, this is like by yourself food.
Yeah.
You know?
I
don't want to be like, I don't set myself up for failure when I'm eating in front of somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm very choosy if I go to a restaurant, depending on who I'm with, what I'm gonna eat. But, like, even when I eat a banana, first of all, I open up my banana. The boys call me a big weirdo because I do this, but when I have a banana, I don't peel it. I just break it right in half. And then I have my two halves. And then what I do is I peel it back a little bit and I just rip pieces off. Because I'm so uncomfortable eating a giant banana fresh from its peel as like one piece. Like I cannot make eye contact with somebody if I'm eating a banana like that. And that's like that's not me trying to be funny. That's like a genuine thing. Like I have to break it in half. So like, you know, that whole image is done. And then I just like take it like, piece by piece. Yes.
You have to defallicize it.
Yes. De-peen it.
De-peen it. Now you're neutering a banana.
Oh my God. Well, Katie, I don't know what to say.
Do you know what's funny? Is one time, okay, so I was in Colombia. I was in Bogota, Colombia, and I was like, everyone else is hungover in like the condo, and I was like, I'm gonna go walk to this little like mall, and there was this cafe, and I went there and I got a beer and I got some wings. It was an Irish pub in Colombia. So I was like, I have to go because I love to go to an Irish pub, and I got the wings like you do. And I sat outside, and there was fully like a man with like a shotgun that was like guarding the place, but that's beside the point. But I was eating my wings, you know? I was by myself. But first of all, eating wings is a risky territory,
Right.
okay?
Yes.
But I was like, I'm in a foreign country, no one knows me, whatever. So I'm sitting there eating. And I felt like everyone's staring at me.
They are, yeah.
They're staring. And I'm like, what is going on? Why are people staring? And I realized that everyone else that had wings had plastic gloves on. Yes.
Oh, that's
And I was this dirty, nasty American with sauce all over my hands, just getting in there.
oh
And I was like, "Ugh." So I went like washed, like they gave like the little sanitary towels too, like wet wipes.
mhm.
Like they were like very on the like, don't be coming to our country and eating all nasty. Like they were like,
Mm-mm.
put your gloves on, you nasty little.
Mhm. Clean yourself up, girl.
And yeah, and I was like, okay, this is kind of like, I like this, you know? But a lot of times if I'm with someone, I try to like cut up the wing a little bit. I can't just like in there, you know?
If I'm out in public, I won't eat wings really because they're uncomfortable. They're on your face.
Boneless wings are cute.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know, Katie. Honestly, I think you just have to either suck it up. You have to really consider, is that a deal breaker for you? And it's okay. It's okay if it's a deal breaker. You're allowed to have deal breakers. And if you can't stand the way he eats, then as you mature in your relationship and as you go through the next stages, it's only gonna get worse. You throw some kids into that mix, you're not only gonna hate the way he eats, you're gonna hate the way he fucking breathes, the way he sleeps, the way he, like, everything. And then the eating will just keep, it'll just keep getting worse and worse over time. So you need to consider those things, Katie. That's my honest answer.
Yeah, yeah. If this is a secure the bag situation, maybe like send him off to etiquette school.
Yes.
But if not, send him to the road.
Yeah. Yeah, get him one of those one-wheeled motorcycles.
Oh my God. That person does eat nasty. If they're riding a one-wheel motorcycle, they eat like a slob, like a pig.
Yes.
Ew. Ew. Okay.
Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to send us your questions and your highlights and your lowlights and anything else you want to send us. And we will see you guys next Tuesday.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.